Hey, welcome back to the Six Figure Mastermind. I'm glad you made it back for part 2 of the 9 secrets of how to become a great public speaker. Secret number 8, keep it short. You wouldn't believe how many people I throw up on that stage and they feel like 5 minutes is a long time to talk. Once they get up there, time starts doing this weird time warp thing, and pretty soon it's 45 minutes later, they're still talking and they haven't made the point yet. All right? Keep it short and sweet. K-I-S-S. Keep it short and sweet. Keeping it short and sweet means this. You've probably heard Mark Twain's quote that says, if I had more time, I would have written a shorter book. So one thing I encourage everyone to do, while I never let any of my students have notes on stage, I really encourage them to write their entire presentation out in a document that they can get everything out of them that they feel needs to be said. That will naturally filter some of the superfluous stuff. And then when they get on stage, and remember, I'm not going to let you have any notes on stage, no bueno. When they get on stage, I'm actually going to ask them to forget the notes, try to give all that content that they gave, and squish it in a 45-minute time frame. And then I'm going to ask them to accordion that into a 20-minute time frame. And then I'm going to ask them to accordion that into a 5-minute time frame. And then I'm going to squish it even tighter into a 2-minute time frame. And they still need to deliver content that's valuable for their audience. That's the hallmark of a master speaker, to be able to create impact in 45 minutes, impact in 2 minutes. So simple and shorter is better. A masterful speaker will be able to master the energy of the entire room. So, you've walked on stage, and when you ask people to enroll with you, they're asking them to raise their hands, you're asking them to do these different state changes throughout your presentation. You can kind of get a feel for the people in the back of the room that don't want to play. In my classroom, that doesn't fly, because I get to manage the energy of my classroom. Now, don't get me wrong, people are still completely at choice, but I am going to spot the black holes in my audience, and I'm going to bring attention to them without embarrassing, and I'm just going to lift the entire energy of the entire space. So if I see someone that's being a black hole in my audience, I'm going to feel free to just walk over to them and just stand next to them when I'm presenting. It actually is very non-threatening, and it brings up the energy of the entire room, letting that person know that, hey, I see you. I'm welcoming you into my space. I hope that you play. And you know what? You're going to dispel a lot of hecklers just by naturally paying attention to the entire room. And guess what? You're managing dozens, maybe even hundreds of people. And you have the masterful ability to do that when you're willing to connect with your audience. Last secret of public speaking. And this is one, underline this. If you're taking notes, highlight this one. Listen very carefully. This is a mistake that most speakers make. People will make excuses for being on stage. They'll apologize so often when they never need to, and they'll do it for 3 reasons. I call them the 3 T's. They will apologize about the time. How many times have you listened to a lecturer or a guest speaker, and they will, from the front of the room, apologize for taking too much time, or not knowing what time it is, or wanting to cut their time short, or taking too much of your time. Never apologize for the time that you're taking on stage. People are coming to hear your message on purpose, and you don't need to be sorry one bit for taking any more or less time. Be conscious of your time. You don't want to be encroaching on other people's time, but people don't know from the audience's perspective what you're doing on accident and what you're doing on purpose, so there's no need to bring unwanted attention to it. The second T to never apologize for is tech. I can't even tell you. I remember watching a presentation by one of my highly respected professors, and I loved going to his class. I was a fangirl of his from before I saw him in college. He would write books and produce content that I just ate up like crazy. And when I got to his university, I sat down in my seat and I thought, I cannot wait. I've got my notes ready. I've got my papers ready. I cannot wait. I'm actually sitting in person at this superstar's classroom. I get there, and the PowerPoint won't work. I kid you not. This amazing person that I looked up to, it was an incredible human being, spent no less than 20 minutes trying to get that silly PowerPoint to work and not delivering content because his tech wasn't working. Now, whether it's a PowerPoint, whether it's a microphone, whether it's a smart board, or whether it's lighting, I don't care what your tech is that you're using. If you apologize and waste time trying to fix the tech, Instead of delivering your message, you've just wasted the entire room's worth of time. If you've got 100 people and you spend 10 minutes, that's 100 times 10 minutes of people's time that you've wasted. They came here to hear you, not to see you mess with some tech. So if it's not working, abandon it and move on. The last thing that I see people apologize for all the time is the third T, tears. And I mean emotions. By that I mean people will feel the emotion of what they're presenting. They'll feel the passion. They'll feel the call. They'll feel the deep down nitty gritty of this message that they know they absolutely have to share. And naturally, it will draw up some emotion from them. At least I hope it would. The pitfall is apologizing for it. Every Sunday, go to a room full of people that are sharing from the heart. They share in the church that I go to. They speak. And almost every time, I will watch them feel the passion, and then I'll watch them back off from the passion and apologize for feeling the way that they feel. Do you have any idea what that does to your audience? Do you have any idea that the sever in connection happens with your apology of your emotions? Do you have any idea what you're giving up by not allowing your audience to feel what you're feeling? You may as well not even get on stage if you're going to apologize for the way that you're feeling. The way that your audience connects with you is because something matters to you. Something is important to you. And if your audience is allowed to feel that for themselves, you've made it. So don't ever apologize for feeling your emotions on stage. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember to comment, subscribe, and definitely ring that bell. Before you go, if you know that public speaking is your thing, if you feel that call to get up on that stage and deliver your message, I want to know, because I'm bringing speakers together and I want to put you in my pressure cooker and look at the magnificence that comes out. If that sounds good to you, hit up the link in the description below and I'll be chatting with you real soon.